Sex and politics. Will your presidential pick support sexual satisfaction for all Americans? I am Dr. Sanjaya, America's sex educator, and it is just about time to vote for the next president of the United States.
Now, let's welcome the candidates, Donald J. Trump and Secretary Hillary Clinton.
And as your very favorite sex educator, it is my patriotic duty to educate you about how the next president might influence your rights to a safe and satisfying love life.
A candidate for president of the United States has bragged about sexually assaulting women.
That's right. I live with them. Nasty boys.
Now, for all you virgins out there, all of you watching my Sex and Politics series for the first time, well, just to catch you up, we spent the last few weeks examining whether the potential presidents and their spouses are sexually fit to serve the sexual health needs of Americans. We started with Mrs. Melania Trump. The potential first lady with a history of nude modeling, skipping school, and plagiarizing Michelle Obama. Then we examined Bill Clinton, the former beloved president of the United States, who was deeply committed to sexual satisfaction while he was in office.
Oh, you nasty boys.
And consistently protected women's access to sexual health care and sustained his marriage during some of the toughest personal and political times our nation has ever seen. Last week, we looked at Donald Trump.
Nasty.
The Republican candidate who is like super tan with itty little tiny bitty hands and marries immigrant women born in Hitler's old stomping grounds.
Acts like a god while he sucks on Tic Tacs. Yeah,
that guy. The same one who's been accused
of sexually inappropriate behaviors by Summer Zervos, Kristen Anderson, Jessica Leeds, Rachel Cooks, Mindy McIlvray, Natasha Stoyanov, and Temple Taggart. They're all claiming inappropriate sexual behavior by Mr. Trump at different times.
Low in the polls was an orange groper, lady after lady after lady who.
What a catch, right? That must be why Hillary's after him. According to Trump himself, women have just been chasing him for years.
There are women that love Trump. I'm telling you, women do like me. I'm telling you.
Boom. Boom, boom. Nobody has more respect for a man. Heidi Klum, sadly, no longer attend. True.
People love me.
Democrats, they love me. Woo! Check me out, these Muslims love me. They do. Stop hating, these women love me. These gays love me. Everybody love me.
Told you. Everybody loves me.
Check me out, Megyn Kelly, she love me. Yeah. Check me out, illegals, they love me.
You bet.
What it do, these veterans love me. Protesters love me. Everybody love me.
Everybody loves me.
Ugh, if only he liked American women, then just maybe I'd have a chance. Maybe we'd all have a chance. But the reality is, we do have a chance. A really good chance to elect an American woman as the next president in charge of advancing policies that preserve your rights to choose who you want to sleep with, how you want to maintain your sexual health, and what to do with your body before, during, and after a sexual situation. We still have a choice, America. And since we've already examined the potential impact that Melania, Bill, and Donald might have on sexual health of our nation, today's episode is all about Hillary.
And can we say this yet?
Probably fine.
President Hillary Clinton.
Has Hillary's past prepared her to advance sexual health in America, especially among women?
It is a violation of human rights when individual women are raped in their own communities.
Nasty women are tough.
It is a violation of human rights when women and girls are sold into the slavery of prostitution for human greed.
Nasty women are smart.
It is a violation of human rights when women are denied the right to plan their own families, and that includes being forced to have abortions or being sterilized against their will.
nasty women vote.
In fact, Planned Parenthood endorses Hillary for president.
We will proudly be part of electing the first woman president of the United States of America.
Hillary has introduced 8 pieces of legislation with the clear purpose of expanding and protecting women's access to reproductive health care.
And I want to say one other thing. A lot has been said in this election about trust.
Trust me. Well, I think her history is far from being over. I think she's going to go down at a minimum as a great senator. I think she is a great wife to a president. And I think Bill Clinton was a great president. Trust me.
In Planned Parenthood, we know something about trust.
She has consistently co-sponsored and voted for pro-women's health legislation.
Every single year, millions of patients trust Planned Parenthood with their health care and with their future.
This woman waged a multi-year effort to pass a breakthrough in birth control access.
Remember back when the FDA refused to put emergency contraception over the counter, and we needed a champion in the United States Senate to get it done? Who did we trust? Hillary. That's right.
Yup. She's the one that helped ensure that emergency contraception is available over the counter. Because let's be real, y'all, when the condom breaks or when a woman is raped, only one person might become pregnant.
The important thing is trust is earned. It's earned by actions, not by words. And that is why the Planned Parenthood Action Fund has trust in Hillary Clinton.
And since Hillary has been a female for nearly 70 years, she's got lots of experience understanding a woman's perspective, especially with regard to sexuality.
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights once and for all.
Which is why she successfully beat down that stupid bill that defined birth control as abortion. Really, guys?
Birth control would be any man-made attempt to avoid the blessing of children.
Guess what? I take birth control.
Is there a man-made authority to actually inject control over the processes that God has put into place?
Are you saying that every time everybody fucks, it should be to have kids?
You guys actually drafted a bill saying that birth control is abortion?
Well, what are you saying? What are you saying? Every time you have to say, can humans really control what God wants? Yeah, it's called pulling out. Or wearing a condom, or the pill, or IUDs. What's wrong with you?
Really, guys?
Look at how primitive this mindset is. I mean, what is it, the year 8?
And just a reminder to all you men in politics, the minute that you actually succeed in making birth control illegal, well, that is the same minute that you will no longer get lucky with any lady in America.
'Cause I would never have sex with you.
So guys, you be careful what you write in your little birth control bills that never mention anything about a man's responsibility to prevent pregnancy.
No amount of alcohol would change my mind at all. I would never have sex with you.
You know what? There are ways to protect your penis from ever impregnating a woman. Ever heard of a penis cage?
This shouldn't come as a surprise. You should have seen it in my eyes. I would never have sex with you. You would have liked it, but that will never happen.
Back to our girl Hillary. Well, unlike those idiots that prevent people from learning about sex,
teaching sex ed in schools is really important for obvious reasons.
Because, nobody's ever gonna have it, right?
People are gonna have sex. Abstinence has been proven to not work in most schools that try to implement it. You have higher rates of pregnancy.
No parent wants to talk to their kids about sex, and no kid wants to talk about sex with their parents. That is why, when you're watching a movie together and there's a sex scene, everyone becomes motionless and silently begs for the merciful release of death.
Well, Hillary knows the real deal.
People like to have sex. It is something that is generally enjoyable for most people.
And that is why she helped launch the national campaign to prevent teen and unplanned pregnancy. Because kids, you know what they need? Education about preventing unplanned pregnancy.
Kids have good questions that need good answers.
Duh!
The Times recently ran an article with a slideshow of questions kids wrote on cards to a sex educator, including, why is the boy's penis shaped like an arrow? Is it okay to be gay? And how long do I have to wait to have sex? I'm excited. To which the answers are, it's engorged with blood, yes, and can you at least wait until the end of class?
And she has consistently sponsored and voted for legislation that expands access to birth control, family planning, and sex education.
There is no required standard for sex ed in this country. In fact, only 22 states mandate that kids receive it, and only 13 require that the information presented be medically accurate.
And that's kind of a fucked up mentality.
Because two teenagers shouldn't have completely different levels of sex ed just because they're in two different school districts. Tonight's football game is between Lakewood High and Middletown High. Not only are they bitter rivals, one of those teams has no idea what a diaphragm is. Let's play ball!
You see, Hillary knows that a planned family usually works out way better than an accidental one.
I mean, if we're talking about pregnancy, I'm pretty sure the problem is pregnancy. So it's preventing the problem from happening. So that's pretty good.
And when you look at her own family, you can tell that she's been planning some things out.
What two better people are there to talk about women's issues? Me, a woman who has had a child and has taken birth control, and him, a man who is a child and whose face is birth control.
And since she's been married to her only husband for over 40 years, she also has experience making new plans when her original plans don't go as planned.
Mistresses? Bill, how could you? How will I go on with the debate? No, I'll never be able to remember my facts and figures now. Oh, no!
Not many women can survive a sex scandal while married to the most powerful man in the world.
Get real. I'm made of steel. This is nothing. Hi, girls.
But Hillary knows that marriages are not fairy tales, and it takes a deep commitment and lots of work to make a marriage last, especially when things break down in the bedroom.
Hey, bartender, keep them coming. Rough night? Yeah, you could say that. Whew.
She knows that sometimes husbands can be horny dicks. And during those tough times, ladies don't have to diminish themselves to the victim role.
So, Hillary, what brings you here tonight? Well, I needed to blow off some steam. I've had a hard couple of 22 years.
And unlike her political opponent, who openly cheated on his wife and has been married 3 different times, Hillary worked through her marital difficulties.
You know, nothing wrong with taking your time. What's important is getting it right.
Yep, I'll drink to that.
And emerged as one of the most respected and powerful women in the world.
I will destroy him and I will mount his hair in the Oval Office!
As a mother, Hillary also has first-hand experience with childbirth and knows how important policies regarding maternity leave are to have in place in order to protect the health of mothers and children.
But tell me, what would you do to help women in this country?
You know, Donald, I've spent my entire career fighting for women's rights. I'll push for equal pay in the workplace, for protecting women's health and reproductive rights, making quality, affordable child care a reality for families. That's what I believe in. That's what I'm fighting for. You know, I'm really curious, Donald. What is your stance on women's issues?
Look, I know a lot of women, and they all have issues.
And Kegels! Hillary knows that when a baby emerges from a vajayjay, women need help getting those muscles back on track. She could possibly be the very first president to make insurance companies provide mothers with Kegel weights before we leave the hospital.
Oh, look, lady in the White House. Oh, lady all the way.
Revolutionary, I know.
Ladies.
As a woman, Hillary knows that every time we have sex, we are actually not looking to get pregnant.
Are you writing all this down?
Hold on. Let me grab my pen.
And as a hardworking woman, she also knows that we're not always in the mood for sex.
Hillary Clinton's recurring nightmare.
Oh, I bet he's coming home tonight. I bet he's coming home tonight.
Therefore, there's a good chance she'll support medications for female sexual dysfunction.
It's just you and your lady. The setting, it's magical. But then, erectile dysfunction comes knocking again. But lucky for you, you have countless medication options that will make you just as randy as a teenager. Too bad your lady doesn't.
Since men have been in office, America has approved tons of male sexual dysfunction drugs.
Even though more women than men suffer from sexual dysfunction,
for some reason, women's sexual dysfunction has been largely ignored.
Sounds like we've been left high and dry.
And the very few medications that are available, well, they had a hell of a hard time getting approved by the FDA.
What the f***? Are we really so far behind that we don't think women have the right to sexual desire? Yet again, we come second.
And Hillary gets this. Now, as a role model for sexuality, Hillary's behaviors convey the loud and clear message that women are so much more than our sexuality.
Don't treat women like Barbie dolls.
She understands that women are intelligent beings that should be valued for our brains.
Once you start treating said sexy woman like a Barbie doll, you're getting into full-blown objectification land.
Her experience of surviving a marital meltdown in the public eye lets me know that she gets it. She gets how hard it is to balance professional goals and ongoing sexual intimacy with your spouse.
I just want some respect.
And speaking of professional goals, Hillary's actions exemplify the fact that women can do anything, even become president of the United States of America.
I wish you could be president. Me too.
She took the lead, but the race got sticky. Lay, oh, lay, oh, lay, slandered and smeared by the leaks of Wiki. Lay, oh, lay, oh, low.
Cause Proxy is my middle name. My last name is Control. No, my first name ain't baby.
It's Hillary. Miss Rodham, if you're nasty.
And what little girl isn't going to expand to her highest potential when she sees the most powerful person in the free world is a woman? Now that's sexy.
Make America nasty again.
Go to HillaryClinton.com and buy a limited edition Nasty Woman mug.
Hey, what's wrong with a nasty woman? Seems to be working for me.
All right, people, let's calculate Hillary Clinton's sexual fitness scorecard. Is she presidential material?
Hell yes.
Well, her past has certainly prepared her to protect and advance sexual health care for all people, even women.
I can tell you the government has no business in the decisions that women make, and I will stand up for that right.
Her policies, her voting record, her experience as a female, as a wife, as a mother, combined with her expertise as an elected official? What? Hillary's sexual fitness scorecard based on her past is off the charts. On a scale of 1 to 10, she gets a 10 plus. Nasty. As for family values, Hillary took those wedding vows more serious than the other candidate did and certainly understands all the challenges and changing dynamics involved in sustaining a stable family over time. Just because the window's broken doesn't mean you tear down the house.
So, who are you voting for? The candidate who forgave her husband no matter what he did, not the guy who really likes his daughter.
Hillary knows that strong families have strong values combined with a strong work ethic. And her personal and political track record shows that she really does believe in family planning and ensuring that women have access to family planning services reproductive health care, and sex education. Hillary's sexual fitness score for family values is another 10 plus. Let's face it, not many things are sexier than Hillary's pantsuits.
All right, so she's not perfect. You know, she's made a few mistakes. I'm not crazy about that outfit.
And as a potential role model for sexuality among females, those pantsuits, combined with her political power and brilliant mind, send a powerful message that brains are the sexiest asset women can develop. And even though she may not always make time to give brain to her baby.
Was she really that bad?
Hillary's message to women is that when we develop our brains, females can do anything, including advancing policies that protect sexual health for all Americans.
And managed to do what 16 primary candidates and the entire Republican establishment couldn't. Namely, beat this dick-waving Berlusconi knockoff like a little bitch.
As a sexual role model for females everywhere, Hillary once again earns a 10 plus. You go, girl.
Ladies, nasty.
I'm so happy you tuned into our last episode of Sex and Politics covering the American presidential candidates for 2016. And I really hope that you had fun learning which presidential candidate is sexually fit to serve. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Dr. Sanjaya, just tell me who you think I should vote for. Well, you know I can't tell you who to vote for because my opinion is completely biased. You see, I am speaking from the perspective of a sexual woman who does not want to be defined by my sexuality. I am coming from the brain of an American woman who loves immigrants so much I even married one. My opinions reflect those of a hard-working mother who is sometimes too damn tired to have sex with my husband. My views come from a well-developed mind and mouth, so I couldn't possibly vote for someone who doesn't like women who speak up or doesn't bother becoming educated about important issues. I'm a woman who takes pleasure in earning financial compensation from my intellectual contributions, so I could never vote for someone who tries to control women with money. I'm a relationship expert who knows that someone who can't maintain a stable personal relationship with colleagues, spouses, and professional competitors is not likely to develop diplomatic relationships with foreign leaders, policy experts, or any organization that advances sexual and reproductive rights for females. I'm a lady who has once or twice had too many drinks at social events, but was fortunate enough to be surrounded by people who knew that intoxication is not an invitation for unconscious penetration. So I could never, ever, ever vote for a candidate who forced or pressured anyone into sex. I am a female with enough education to know that electing a president who has never been elected to any office and who lacks any experience in public service or politics is naive, dangerous, and completely reckless. So from my very biased perspective, there's only one candidate who understands and respects the perspective of this smart, sexual, successful American woman. I cannot tell you who to vote for, but I know who I'm voting for.
And today's homework is go to sexinSouthBeach.com, join the VIP list for your daily dose of nooky knowledge. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and link up with me on social media. For better sex tonight, pick up my book at Amazon.com, and you don't want to miss the Sex in South Beach podcast on iTunes and sexinSouthBeach.com, where everyone comes to learn about sex.